Hello and welcome back to our little corner of central Portugal. The weather has changed a bit and the fires have almost all been brought under control. In between the showers, we still get some periods of glorious autumn sunshine. We're Jane and Phil. Last year we bought this 2-acre farm. It had lain empty and unloved for around 20 years. We've taken on a massive challenge to transform it into a modern home. If you enjoy following our journey, we'd love it if you could give us a like or maybe subscribe. And please don't feel shy to ask questions. We'll be answering lots of them next week. This week, however, we're finally connecting the hot water.
That is hot.
We'll be down the well again to remove some persistent foliage, and Phil gets all organic with some carpentry. But first, it's water.
So next step on the hot water supply. So the plumbing job now is to join up what's over there is the tail coming out of the shower. It comes along here, and the easiest way, if I move this solar panel out of the way, then you'll see where we're at. If I just hooch it up, and slide it over, that should be good enough. Yeah, there we go. So there, I've got that's the cold water supply going in to the sink, and I've got a pipe here with a cut end on it, which is the hot water supply, or the hot water link over to the shower. So ideally I want this to go sort of about another 60 centimeters that way to be able to put a T-piece on, come up and go through. So the next thing is to see how much I've got left there. Does it actually reach up to the top? Was I clever enough with my measuring? Never a guarantee. So yeah, let's do that. Let's shove this through and just see what we're dealing with in terms of length and where the joints need to go, because then I've got to take it through there to the boiler. So that's what's coming out of the ground at the moment. I'll make a bit of space. Whoops.
Don't fall down the drain.
And can I? Okay, if I lift it a bit.
It's got a cable tied in, yeah.
Yeah, they're cable tied together. Bugger.
Language.
It's probably worth leaving. So what I can do is put an elbow joint there to come up.
Yeah, that'd be easier than trying to faff around with pulling
It's probably
it.
easier rather than trying to pull it through the gravel.
Yeah.
And they are joined, as you say, they're joined together. Okay. Yep, because I can run it round the corner there.
Excellent.
And cover that over with gravel. So I think I've got a nice little square, which is the original drainage outlet. So you can see the two. So that would have been from the toilet. Not very nice. That would have been from underneath the shower. Slightly better. So I'll block the toiletty one up because it doesn't serve any purpose anymore. What I think I'm going to do is put a little bit of weed fabric in there, run this pipe in and joint it, because that's where that goes up. You can see so that's about floor level there. So if I run this round to sort of beside it and come up here, and then I can fill that with gravel. So any drainage will drain away and the pipe will just run through it. So that's clearly been built. There's concrete block either on three sides of it. One there, one there, one there. So that was obviously the original intention.
Using the nifty pipe stretching gadget.
Absolutely essential.
It's a sort of, I'll show you.
Goes up onto there, there goes second click.
A triangular thing, and it's massively useful.
There we go. So that now gives us, wedge it in and get them to be relatively parallel, like that. That's the hot water supply from the boiler
To the shower.
to the shower.
Yay!
Yeah, so just now got some of this in over. That should do us.
Yeah, nice and neat.
And hopefully the geotextile will stop anything growing up through it, so it'll just be a nice, clear soak away. It's
Put
not.
that slab there over it if you want, couldn't you?
Could do. I mean, that might well have been what it was intended
Yeah,
for.
it's not doing anything else, it's just, just a slab. So that'd be a good idea if we could shift that.
But there we go.
Excellent.
Tick.
It's another beautiful morning. Let's just remind you of the setup inside the utility room. We're just waiting for the outgoing hot water pipe to be connected.
Okay, I'm just going to poke the first bit through now. Yeah. So go behind the drain pipe. Yeah, behind the drain pipe if you can. And keep it below. Yeah. Past the back of the washer. Yeah.
As far as the gas tank goes, you want another foot?
Give it another foot, yeah. That'll do. Lovely, thank you. Dripping hot now, but that is the last joint in the hot water line, so give the boiler a chance to do a test fire. Are we ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready when you are. Go on,
Okay,
go on.
so
Fire it up.
Okay, gas is on.
Gas is on. Ready,
So,
steady.
Hot water, give it a go.
Hot water. Tap is good and turned on. Ah! That is hot.
And that's ignition.
That is brilliant.
That's really quick, isn't it?
It's so quick. Yeah, nice hot water to do the washing up with. Wow, that's amazing. Right. I've had to put a lot of cold in to make it cool enough, you know.
That's maximum flow
Well, that's
and minimum gas.
that's super hot.
Well, then moderated accordingly. But that's minimum flow through the boiler. Sorry, maximum flow through the boiler.
Yeah.
Minimum gas.
Minimum temperature.
So my theory is water's coming through as fast as it can get through the boiler.
Yeah, so it's not going to heat. But that is really hot.
Cool.
Feel it. And that's I put a load of cold in that.
Oh wow. So that'll be on your mixer then to be able to.
Yeah, I was saying I had to stick it right over there. 'Cause
Fantastic.
It's gonna burn me otherwise. So be careful with it. That's
Well,
all I can say.
be careful in the shower, I think, is the answer.
Yeah, we haven't tried it as far as the shower yet, have we?
It's your turn.
Okay. Should we go in there? Try it now?
So I'll run it with cold water only to start with, so it's cold, and we can then see. Alright, so that's cold. Yeah. Coming through warm. That's nice. So that's about halfway across the gate. Is a nice temperature.
It's plenty warm enough for a shower.
Oh, loads, yeah.
Brilliant. Major
Absolutely.
milestone. That's
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Well done, Phil. Thank you. Oh, a proper warm shower later. Bliss. The oranges are growing really nicely. You can see how much they've swollen. If I put my hand here behind one of them, you can see how big it is already. Look at that. It's gigantic. And there's certainly plenty of fruit on the tree. Meanwhile, over at the well, there's a fig tree sprouting where it's not supposed to be.
So there was a fig tree here.
Hello.
What have you done with it?
Yeah, well, me and my loppers, you know, we get carried away with ourselves. Over there now. Most of it's lopped, but the trunk goes down into the well, so
Let's have a little
might
bit of a
need
look.
something a bit longer than my loppers.
Yes, it goes sort of into the side of the wall,
Yeah, I think it's about
a couple of 2 or 3 metres down.
get another angle round there.
So after all of that, lots of dangling of chainsaw on a stick down the well, cutting bits off. The result is much clearer. May not pick this all up on camera, but it's
You come around here, you might be able to
very
see
much
where
less.
the fig's roots go virtually all the way down to the water, down the wall.
Yeah, there's,
A bit dark down there.
it's a bit dark, but you can see there's the water way down below us. It's a lot lower than it was when we were here before. But the roots of the fig tree all going down there, and we've had some big brambles as well. But nicely now we can see what we're dealing with. And on another day with a bit of mechanical assistance, we'll be able to get this out of the way, retrieve this, knock the walls down and put a cap on it so it's safe. I'm going to have to run my timbers back over my improvised lattice timbers so that nothing falls down it overnight tonight. But no, that's a big clean-up job on that well.
This is the bees' little drinking station when it's really hot. They like to come here and just have a little sip of water, so I keep pouring just some into the drain so that they've got something to keep them cool, because nothing worse than a hot, unhappy bee. Back in the Adega workshop, Phil's back on the bedhead project that was interrupted when the fire alarms went off last week. been clearing through my bedside drawer and discovering that there was a few packs of polos in there.
Ah.
And some little, tiny little bits of foil, shall we say, as well. So they've been decamped into that plastic box that's got your biscuits, your energy bar things in as well. So
that one does look ever so slightly out of line.
exactly. Square.
Oh, it's all square,
Mm.
but it's ever so slightly, if I look at the line of the holes.
Yeah, over the end there.
This one is slightly
that way, slightly in. Yeah.
Trying to work out which one it is. Going to do something now which is really trying to use some of the resources we got on the farm. On the bedhead, I've drilled with a 8mm drill to the recessed holes. And what I want to do is plug with a timber plug to fill those holes. And rather than go down the store and buy commercial dowels or anything else, we've got around the place, if you look, loads and loads and loads of cut olive twigs, and with a bit of work they can be stripped of the bark. So here's one. Find them, set the depth gauge just to the 8mm hole, just to the 8mm. It's a little bit wider, which means I can take off the bark. Comes off relatively easily, and then go through it with a piece of sandpaper and basically keep trying it until it fits or it doesn't fit. So in true Blue Peter style, here's one I prepared earlier, and it's a good snug fit in the 8mm hole. So from that point, it's just a bit of glue, drop it in, cut it off, rinse and repeat. that's the result. Not invisible because they are different wood, but they are at least a nice finish. Taking the sanding down so that they are flush, but also the scribe marks, the pencil marks for the drill holes. So you can see the difference on the ones I've not yet done. So they've come off using the multi-tool saw. They come off pretty flat, but there's still a bit of glue seeped out, and the pencil marks, I'll go through all of those, but I think that's not a bad finish. There's something rather nice about using something you found lying around the farm. Tones in with the knots and the other blemishes on the main timbers. I just think they look rather gorgeous.